Greetings, Rich Rhoda here. This is an introduction to ELPA 6561, Organizational Development, External Relations. I will be the instructor for the course this spring semester, and I want to share with you a brief overview of the course as it's going to be taught. And first, I want to note that this is the first time that I'm teaching the course. I'm pleased and excited to do so. I hope we'll look at this as a work in progress and we can change and adapt as the semester goes along, but I will appreciate your input as we go along. In the way of context, my view of organizational development is that it's a very fundamental element of leadership. OD, as it's called, is a field of study unto itself. There are complete programs dedicated to the many facets of organizational development. This course takes a pretty narrow approach. We will use organizational development as the framework for our study of external relations work in higher education in general and at community colleges and technical colleges in particular. For our purposes, organizational development is a matter of applying principles and practice in organizations to increase individual and organization effectiveness. In practice, it's things such as sound policies and processes, effective communications, team building, change management, things of that nature. There's certainly much more to it, as we will learn, but that's the gist of organizational development. As a starting point or context for our study of external relations, again, this is me, but it's basically understanding that higher education is a public good. And in order for us to truly serve the needs of the public, we must be intentional in how we go about our external relations. And how we do this is reflected in the topics I'm proposing that we address in the course syllabus. And here they are. As I said, higher education and the public good, public confidence in higher education, intermediary organizations that really do help higher education, but they're not colleges and universities, board development, media relations, fundraising, workforce development, community engagement, and advocacy and outreach. So the real questions are, how do we influence external factors and at the same time, or how do we adapt to those factors? So, a few housekeeping remarks about the class. We'll have very much the same format as we did last semester, weekly readings and discussions, 2 weekend seminars, and 2 papers, and more about that later. We have one primary text, and it's Millan and Holbeck, Organizational Development, a Practitioner's Guide to Organizational Development and Human Resources. It's available electronically through the ETSU library. It is an excellent practitioner-oriented text. There's also reference to a Bowman and Deal book, Reframing Organizations, that Dr. Torrance is going to use in his class, the companion course to ours. That's ELPA 6020. I make references to it, but no separate reading assignments. As in last fall, all reading assignments discussions start on Tuesdays. The weekend seminars have already been set. The last weekend in January and the first in April, both will be at Vol State. One other opportunity for this spring is a symposium at ETSU, which I may have mentioned in class in fall. We can talk more about that later, but it deals with transfer students. And this concludes my overview of the course. As I said, I'm very much looking forward to working with you on the course. And as always, please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions or concerns. So thank you, and here's to a good semester.